Hi everyone, this is Vicki, and I'm back after doing some watercoloring. The last video I did just playing with watercolors and seeing what they do. So this week I am working on some ATCs, artist trading cards, and it's week 7. We're going to do some encaustic painting, and actually I have already done some, and I'm just going to show you what encaustic painting is, and that originates from the ancient Greek, um, which means burning in. And so burning in, and it's usually wax, burning in wax. And so what I did was to think of what I had. I saw lots of videos, and you needed a plate of like a pancake grill, and which I don't have, but I do have this from the old days that I keep everything. So this is a melting pot by Ranger, if you remember those, and usually use some kind of resin for this, and so I have this. So, and I also have beeswax. Well, and I use beeswax for other things over using it as a mixed medium for um, some paintings and things. So I did have this beeswax. So I tried it with this beeswax, and it says that you can use watercolor. So I did that. I did the watercoloring, and I tried it with beeswax. And this is an article here from Wikipedia, so you can go onto Wikipedia and read about that. So really they have colored pigments that they put into the beeswax, and you also need this damar resin to add in there. And since I'd used the beeswax and then I read about the part with the resin, I decided to go ahead and buy the one that's already made. I didn't buy the pigmented wax. That's just too much money. So I just wanted to use what I had. So what I did was I bought this on Amazon, and this one is in caustic medium, and they make this with beeswax and damar resin. And this is also from a tree, I believe. It's so it's natural. So they use this, and so I bought that from Amazon. I did have all these brushes, however, and typically, I guess you use this Hake, 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 Hake brush, which is really, really soft. And when you put it in the wax, it gets all hard. And you can clean it with the soy wax. And I decided I didn't want to buy another thing, so I'm just going to keep it like this. They usually leave it like that, and then put it in the wax. Just leave it, and then when you use it again, you turn on the heat on the plate, and it gets nice and soft for you to use. So I used this one first. This is from like the hardware store. They say to use bristle brush, which is a natural bristles, rather than the nylon type, the plastic, because that will in the heat it might burn, melt. So I use these, and I have a ton of these brushes for some reason. This one's kind of soft, but this is not the one. See, this one's from Japan. This is one Yatsutomo. Yatsutomo. It's made in Japan. It's such a soft brush. Hated to use it, but I did. And then these are other ones you can get. Even Michael's has some of these types of brushes. So I have these already that I've used in other projects. And so I have those I can use. I also found these that look like it's kind of like a natural brush. and it doesn't have any markings on it. So, oh, here. Oh, it says bristle, so I can use that for small things. And then this one is sable, I believe. And it's an old brush also, so I could use that one as well. Okay, so that's brushes, and you need the wax, you need the hot plate, and then I think you're ready to go. So that's what I did. I just took my, let me show you my, where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so this is the one that I did on the last video. I did these. And so what I did was to put some wax on it. This one I put wax on it. You can see the brush strokes. And when you also need a heat gun or a blowtorch. I chose to use what I already had. I don't want to use a blowtorch. So I have this one, which says Milwaukee. So this is the heat gun that I have. It's kind of a stronger one than those. Definitely, it says do not use a hair blower. I guess you can, but it's not strong enough. So your regular heat tool will work. And so I use this one. And then I just brushed on the wax, and you can see here where there's this wax brush strokes. And when you put it on the heat tool on it, it just comes out like a kind of very soft looking. It just melts the wax on there. But I found, this one I cut it a piece out after I had waxed it, and it says to use it on mat board, which I have mat board, and my mat board is like this, because this is actually for matting. Mat board is for matting picture in a picture frame on the outside. And so I already have this because I did do my own matting. I learned it in class, and so I did my own matting. So I have some mat board already. So I use this one, and if you use mat board or wood panels, it says it. I think it helps it to stay straight, rather than buckle up when you're, because this paper is like 90 pounds, and then I have the other papers. This paper is, this is 120 pound. This is also a Michaels, but I didn't want to use my good watercolor paper, so I just used those. But I really think that the 120 pound works so much better. So I'm going to try even a heavier paper next time. So when I did the first one, okay, I'm going to show you that this is the actual one. Let's see. That I did, and look how the colors changed. It's so soft looking and ethereal looking. So I really like that look. And then it comes out so, it's not perfect, but look how nice and smooth it is. So it was so fun to do. And I put this one on these wood panels that I got at Amazon. So I bought all these wood panels. Let me see. This is, oh, here. Okay, so I bought all these from Amazon, and I figured that I could use these for playing around with all the different ways of making encaustic paintings. So that was the first one that I did. I did these other ones on mat board, and I put tried to do some glitter embedding in the wax. And I did do some, this is some oil pastel that I put on the edges. And so that is another one that I had done on last week's video of playing with pastels. So it came out pretty, but there's a lot of other things I could do with that, right? So here's another one that I did, and I put glitter. This is glass glitter, actually. So That's what I put on here, and some sequins. I embedded that in the wax. So I thought that's pretty also. Just very basic, no other designs or anything, just using watercolor. Just using the watercolor and the and the wax, infusing it with wax. Then afterwards, after the camera part of that, playing with the watercolor, I did some flowers. And so I did this flower. I just did a sketch. Actually, what I did was I pulled my flowers, my fake flowers, from the front entry that I have them on, and these are the flowers I use to make these, to draw these. So I did draw them, and then I used my watercolor, and I used the watercolor. You can see the glistening. I did use this one is the Michaels watercolor that I used. So I did this little drawing, little painting, but I did not put the wax on it. I haven't put the wax on this one, but I just thought I'd show you what that looks like. And then the next one I did was this, using this sunflower that I had in my vase out in front in the entry. And here's my watercolor picture with the wax on it. So you can see this is on the also a mat board. And so you can see what that one looks like. And I didn't do any embedding. I could embed some little seeds or something in the center there to give it some dimension. But I was just playing around with it. And I did the edges as well. I painted the edges with some a pen. I think it was one of those. It was a copper pen. So I just did the edges with this. Let me show you this one here. So that's a Krylon. Okay, so it's a copper leafing pen is what I used. And so I used that for that one. And then the next one I did, and that's just a mat board also. And I adhered it with some glue. And I tried to do the adhering with the wax, and it just didn't stay. So I gave up on the wax part. They showed us to use that on one of the videos. And so I just thought, forget that. I used a combination of my art glitter glue, and if you just put it with the paper, I think, and I used this Fabri-Tac. So I used a combination of those just to make sure it stayed together with the paper to paper. And so that worked. I thought that worked well with the paper to paper. So, and then just leave a heavy book on it so it stays. And then you can, when you do your waxing, it will be stay flat. It'll stay much flatter than not if you don't have it on a backing. Okay, so then the next one I did was the flower, this rose. So it didn't come out so as nice as this, but this is my my rose. And I did a little watercolor, and I did a little painting with this paint here that I often use. And I love this. So I use this one. I'll always use that one. It's my favorite. This is white here. I thought this was silver, but it's not. They have a silver one as well, but I have the gold. And so I put gold on the edges. And then, what did I do next? So these are the 120-pound papers of Michaels that they sell. And then I did some other ones. This is also the 120-pound papers. I wanted to do gold leaf, so I attempted to do this gold leafing with the blue watercolor, And I did use the Paul Rubin, this one, because I love shimmer. And so this one has all the shimmers. And you can see I used the blue of this. And then I put the gold leafing down. And you're supposed to do the gold leafing last, but I wanted to see what it looked like if I just did that first, what happens. And it turned a little dull, and so I decided to make it even more dull, more antique looking, and I put on it I put on the distress ink, the vintage photo. So with my applicator, you know, this same one like this, and I just did it with this one because I wanted to make it look more antique looking. So that's what I used on here, and it came out okay. I wanted to do a little bit more, something different, but I will in the future. The gold leafing that I did is not real gold. I have that, but I don't want to use it on my practice pieces. Is this one. I had bought this a long time ago, and it was $7.99 at a show, I think. I bought it when, you know, a stamping show, I think. So this is in pieces. The other gold leaf is this flat sheet, but these are in pieces like this, and you just pick it up. You use the glue, which is, I use this glue because my other glue was all corroded because it was so old. But this one's a little old also, but this one's still good. So I use this one to paint on to you. What you do is you paint it onto the areas you want to fill in. And I had used a stencil on this, and so I decided to go ahead and fill it in with the gold leaf. And so I painted the pieces of the stencil that was showing a different color. I didn't like it. So I did that, and then you lay down your gold, and then they brush away and it sticks onto where the adhesive was that you painted on, and when you brush it away, the extra comes off, and I just put it in a little baggie, the extra. I don't want to stick it back in there. So I just used that. So then there was another one that I wanted to do, so I brushed it. I actually just brushed it on top, and with my bristle brush, and just did a swirl. You know, just did a swirl with a smaller brush. I don't know which brush it was. And just brushed it. Maybe I used the side. And I thought that came out really nice. So if you use it on top of the, if you just do the adhesive, it's a liquid, and you put it on, and then you put your gold leaf on, and then you brush it away. Then it leaves it like looking like this, half on and half off. Look, it comes out pretty. And this one is on a board like so. So those are the ones that I've done. Other ones that I have done, there's this Explorer. I did use this ink, this Pilot multi-ball that I got at Amazon, and I did write it on here on top. So it did not affect the tip with the wax on there. So I used that. And I also I showed this last time, that and so I used that black pen on here to do a little accentuation. And it's kind of too dark for me. I like the pencil look better. But if you put it on a dark board, you see how it brings it out more. So this is one. This is chipboard. I guess you could use chipboard. This one's awful thick, very thick. And then this thinner chipboard you could use also. I think this is not as strong as the matte board. I don't think. But there's different weights to chipboard, I guess. But since I found this morning, actually, the chipboard, I forgot I had it. So anyway, I did want to just share with you my findings and my fun I did with this encaustic painting. It was so much fun. I enjoyed it very much. I will continue with different techniques. There's different things I could use. There's oil pastels. You can use all kinds of different things. And so I have them. I might as well use them. So I will talk to you in the next video about all this new encaustic painting I'm doing. It's so much fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.